As a woman on the other side of a high value woman pendulum swing, where I did get the ring, I did get the house, I did get the guy, I did get the business, I did get all the things, I have a lot to say. In my opinion, I always received the phrasing of high value woman as a woman who values herself deeply, a woman who respects herself deeply and moves as such. And the internet really took it and really made it into something dark or heavy or dense or a way to judge or shame other women rather than just have it be focused on yourself improving the value of your life. And I will say that doing the high value woman pendulum swing from such a loving place got me the results I wanted out of life. And I helped a lot of other women, and I'm still helping a lot of other women get great results in their lives. But it also numbed me out completely. Because in the high value woman world, there's a lot of talk about body count and things like that. We're taking it so far away from what is actually inherently female empowerment. So, whenever in the past I've said, don't sleep with a man for the first 3 months or whatever it is that I've said, it's because the womb is so sacred that not everyone just gets to have access to it. And it has been turned and received as something about body counts and misogyny and patriarchal values and closing down female pleasure. Even when the crux of it was never supposed to be that. It was supposed to be empowering in nature that women don't just share their bodies with anybody. And I stand by this. But with that looming in the background, I found myself even struggling with my own sexuality, with my own body, my own pleasure, just numbing itself out because so many other people have so much to say about what women should or shouldn't do. And I don't like the word should because should is the background code of shame, and there's a lot of shame living in that world. So I got the guy, I got the house, I got all the things, and I've always been upfront and forthcoming about my life. Like, I was not always this woman. I had some serious relationships in my 20s and my early 30s that did not pan out the way I wanted them to, and so that's why I went on this journey to begin with, was to learn what the women who got the results I wanted were actually doing and how they were actually living, and how I could embody a woman who does get results. So I've always talked about all of the things. And it's just amazing to me how distorted people can make people's like up and coming stories of this is the person I was and then this is the person I've become. And I've watched people glamorize it like, wow, that come up story, she was living in her car and then she did all the things and now she makes millions helping people around the world, this is so great. And then I've seen people go, wow, her come up story, she was living in her car and now she's talking about money. Like, that's disgusting. The whiplash on the internet is nuts. So, going back to the high value woman world being one of the most amazing things I ever did for myself to get results, watching the distortion of high value on the internet, and then realizing that what I believed high value was, which was again like women holding themselves to a higher standard, valuing themselves deeply, respecting themselves, and moving as such, there was another side of it that was dark. And then I learned that there was a side of it that exists within the men, and particularly the manosphere and people who dabble with the red pill world. And it's that only men are high value. And it's because they think that they're high value amongst other men. Like, it has very little to do with women and everything to do with men gaining respect from other men, which sounds a little bit teetering and homosexual, if I may say so myself. I have no problem with that. Like, pop off queens, pop off kings, like, do your thing. But when that high value woman, high value man world is impacting women because men want the respect and the love and the adoration of other men, I do have a problem with it. Men are hierarchical in nature. Like, they are always looking up to the next man. And that's why they do like have this pyramid of who is more important, who's more successful, who am I looking up to? Whereas the feminine experience is a round table. The feminine experience is cyclical. Like, we're doing it together in a circle, not you're more important than me, you're below me. That's not the feminine experience. And that is one of the things that women are having to navigate and unbecome in our journeys to creating love and success in a way that actually works for us. Even right now, I have a video being absolutely torn apart on the internet because some context is missing and people are just ripping me to shreds. Like, oh, you say don't sleep with a guy for, 3 to 6 months, but you slept with your fiance when, years ago. Um, Yes, when I was still a version of me that I have actively spoken about, which was years after we met and years before we got together. I've known my fiance for 10 years now. We met in 2016. Now, being with my fiance, my almost husband, we'll be married in 3 weeks, um, has been the softening on the other side of the high value woman pendulum swing that I deeply, deeply had to experience in order to come back from it. Right. And so what happens is a woman can go through a really deep heartbreak. She goes through this really big experience of becoming and unbecoming. And she learns all these ways of being that gets results. And then she's fully loved. She's fully loved in her mess, in her madness, in her class, in her boss babe, in her chaos, in her drunk state, in her handling it state, in her receiving state. And the nervous system does something. It shakes you, it shifts you, and then it brings you back home to your heart where you see the beauty. You see the beauty of love. You see the beauty of being loved. You see the beauty of just what is possible for you when you drop the rigidity that you once created to stay safe. And it's a beautiful process, but it's a very deep one. And not everybody's ready to experience how deep that process goes. In fact, based off of the comments I'm seeing all over the internet right now, I would say most people are living a significantly more shallow experience than actually diving into the depths of life and the depths of what's possible and the chapters and the layers that we're constantly folding and unfolding again and again and again to go deeper. So, with all that said, I have always been a fan of the high value woman world in the way that I perceive it, the way that it's moved me, the way that I've moved clients in that world and helped them love and revere and respect themselves and just value the way that they move in the world and value themselves so deeply that they stop self abandoning. I love that version of that. But there's another side of it that's so dark that I'm starting to go, okay, I think I just no association with this and I stick to what my brand is, which is the muse. My brand is the muse. My brand is the muse mastermind. My brand is the modern muse diaries. My brand is the muse. So we're dropping the high value, whatever, because it's so distorted. I'm just really not interested. And we're just owning the muse fully because a woman who is a muse is an inspirational force to herself and to the world. It's the holder of creation, art, science, beauty. Um, Everyone is always looking for a muse in different eras of their life to inspire them to create again. And so that's where I stand. Now, on the other side of the high value woman pendulum swing, that actually changed my life for the better and harmed me as well. I am the first person to tell you I'm currently in the process of navigating my own experience of transition from maiden to wife, and I'm taking it seriously. Like marriage is not just like a simple cute thing. I fell in love and it's what I'm doing. It's an initiation to a lifetime of divine union, and it's a spiritual experience for me and my evolution and for my partner and his evolution. And he's not woo woo at all, and yet he's taking it just as seriously. And so as I transition into wife, the way that I move, the way that I speak, the way that I show up in this world and in my brand has been changing too. And the rebrand is coming. It's here. I'm There's so much more depth, and I'm just getting very, very, very bored with the things being so fucking fascinating to the internet is 5 red flags to look out for. It's boring. We get to do better and we get to go deeper. And so here we are. More beauty is coming your way. And for anyone who also has felt like the high value woman's world started off so beautifully and then you did your own version of a pendulum swing, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your story too.